on Watermelon Smash water drink, folks. Yes, I am the Mighty Plantain, and that was a horrible, horrible intro. But I do have the Captain Morgan Watermelon Smash again. I did solicit some viewer suggestions for what to pair this with, because I couldn't quite come up with anything off the top of my head. And I did, at one point, do the Baja Blast Mountain Dew with this, a little smash and blast, giggity. And that turned out to be pretty good. I'm going to post that video separately, because it's more of a Baja Blast review than the Watermelon Smash. But we're going to cover some of those very helpful and some kind of sadistic viewer suggestions on the Watermelon Smash pairing. Now we're going to start with Lipton Brisk Lemonade. I did look at about half a dozen different convenience stores in the area, and I couldn't find the regular lemonade, so we're going to go with the pink. Now this one makes a lot of sense, because I did notice that there's a Lipton Brisk Watermelon Lemonade out there right now. Several of these suggestions, by the way, were echoed by the folks over at Damon's Beverage. They got a couple of locations throughout the state, including Bangor, Waterville, and Augusta. I'm leaving a bunch off, but those are the ones I shop at most, so those are the ones that I think of primarily. And I'll let you know when their suggestion list stopped matching those of my viewers. Just going to kind of eyeball these. I'm not going to go to any great lengths to measure here, so let's start now. Might find this a little weird, but whenever I do these flavored drinks, I always give them a little shake after releasing some of the air pressure in there, because there's a lot of particulates sometimes settled to the bottom, and that's where a good amount of your flavor goes. Didn't look like there was a whole lot in the bottom of this one, but it actually looks a lot like that watermelon lemonade that I mentioned I've seen in the stores earlier. Make sure this stays in the camera shot here, because I'm going to line up a couple of other things with it. Getting a little hint of the watermelon smell. It's pretty good. The watermelon sweetness is getting really well blended with a little bit of the sourness from the lemonade. Mostly this is very sweet. Pretty good. I mean, easy drinking too. It's going down pretty good. I'd say that's a pretty good pairing. I like that idea. And apparently, like I said, so does Brisk, because they've started putting out that watermelon lemonade too. Yeah, even when you get down towards the bottom of the glass, it's pretty well blended. It takes away some of the boozy edge from the Watermelon Smash. I'd say that's a winner. I like that one. Next up, right along the same category, was Lipton Brisk Iced Tea. That was the second suggestion that came through. Yeah, a lot more particulates in the bottom of this one. There we go. Like I said, I'm just kind of eyeballing this, so I don't know if I'm going to get a consistent pour in each of these drinks, but I don't need to put the cap on. I'm going to be putting another one in there in a minute. Now that did make a very interesting color in there. It's kind of nasty looking. It's almost like, I don't know, like ruby red mud. Still, the watermelon is most prominent in the aroma. Getting a little hint of the iced tea, though. Well, that is brisk. It's actually kind of nice. I mean, the brisk lemon is a pretty sweetened iced tea to begin with. But when you add that sweetness and that fruitiness from the watermelon, it just kind of brings it out even more. I'm digging this one too. Yeah, that's not bad. I would definitely recommend that. It's refreshing. Now, the lemonade one was pretty refreshing, but the iced tea one, even more so. This is a good drink for a nice hot summer day, I'll tell you that. A humid day. Well, we're 2 for 2 with winners on this run. Well, looks like I just drained my balls, folks. That's okay. I prepared. I picked up a second one knowing that we were going to be going through quite a bit of this stuff. And there's a little bit less in there than there were in the other two, so... That looks about right. Oh, I don't know why I'm putting the cap on. There's a couple more to go here. Alright, and the next up was Sprite. Again, this is one that I got in my comments on YouTube and echoed by the folks over at Damon's. So let's see how a nice, refreshing lemon lime Sprite goes with this. Is that a 20 ounce? Yeah, it's a 20 ounce bottle. It feels narrower. I guess because I'm used to the Pepsi and Mountain Dew bottles, the Coke bottles seem narrower. Ooh, pardon. Yeah, again, mostly getting watermelon off of that, but... not bad. It's primarily Sprite, but it's a little fruity. It's still got that lemon lime Sprite, that bite to it, that thirst quenching deliciousness that LeBron James is always going on about. I don't know if it's the way those ads are put together or just the man's magical voice, but you want a Sprite. That ad campaign really makes me want a damn Sprite. But yeah, this is pretty good. Sprite's tried a couple of remixes with fruity flavors, and I think this is pretty much akin to those. It's decent, it's smooth, it's got that little bit of, like I said, of a lemon lime bite to it, and it's actually feeling like a big thirst quencher too, despite the fact that there's booze in there. It's a pretty solid one too. I'd say so far 3 for 3. We got winners here. Ooh. I would definitely drink this again. Although I think I'm preferring the iced tea right now over the others. The pink lemonade being a second and the Sprite coming in a third, but it's pretty close. They're all pretty good pairings. Not bad at all. So now, oh, pardon. We're getting to a point where some of you decide to have a little fun with suggestions. First up, Moxie. Thanks so much for this one. Thank you ever so much for this one. Now see, I like Moxie once in a while. It's not something I drink regularly, but when I'm in the mood for it, I'm in the mood for it, and nothing else will do, because it's got that nice rooty bite to it, like motor oil mixed with Coke. It's this singular flavor that you're not going to find in any other beverage. And once in a while, you just want it. I mean, you were probably raised on this stuff if you live in Maine or nearby, and you can only get it in Maine and some of the New England states, although I guess Publix, it's a convenience store chain, well, yeah, I believe convenience store chain down south. They will get this if you ask for it. Found that out because I got some cousins who come up in the summer and they were trying to get Moxie down in their area, and they did find a Publix that would special order it for them. Other than that, it's not really widely available outside of New England, Maine especially. I can't describe it to you. If you've had it, you've had it, and you know what it tastes like. We're about to find out what it tastes like in combination with Watermelon Blast. And the Moxie is definitely overpowering. I'm getting that Moxie smell. There's maybe a very, very faint, sweet aroma coming from the watermelon, but the Moxie has completely destroyed any aroma that was coming off of this other than its own. This is why I'm doing these all back to back, folks. Had to get some booze in my system fairly quickly before tolerating this. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, honestly. Huh. Up front, it's like this sweet cough syrupy flavor. Moxie's got a little bit of cough syrupy flavor to it as well, but it's not sweet. But it's like this sweet cough syrupy flavor that masks the Moxie, but then in the finish, the Moxie comes through at twice the strength that it usually would. And that's all that lingers on the tongue, is that strong, rooty, it's not really a root, I think it's a whatever that crap was they put in the, pardon. I can't find. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, gentian root extract. So it is a root. For some reason, I was thinking it was one of those some kind of nut that they put in the recent Pepsi 1913 or whatever it was called. But yeah, it's a root extract that's coming through, and that again, it gets multiplied in the finish over and above what you usually get from Moxie, because that initial sweetness up front masks it, and then when it hits you full force. But honestly, not as bad as I was anticipating, but if you don't like Moxie to begin with, stay away from this. I've certainly drank worse things. I mean, I've drank far better, and this is definitely a distant fourth to any of these three. I'd rather have those combos, and this isn't something I'd go out of my way to drink. I'd either have the Moxie by itself or the Watermelon Smash straight. Like I said, it's not a good combo. It's awful, but it's better than I thought it would be. It's getting a little worse as I get towards the bottom of the glass. Less savory. so to speak. Alright. Ooh. That last gulp, that was actually pretty nice. Excuse me. Like that syrupy sweetness of the cough syrup without any of the negative taste of the Moxie. I think the watermelon smash probably was trying to hide from the Moxie. It got intimidated and stayed at the bottom of the glass. So, we do have one final viewer suggestion. Thanks ever so much for the suggestion, and for those of you who liked it, you all know who you are. I'm not calling out names on any of these because I didn't write them down so I could remember them. But you know who you are, and you know what you suggested. Let me tell you something. I have not been drinking this stuff by choice. Most of this has disappeared due to viewer suggestions, but I always keep a little bit of coffee brandy, Allen's coffee brandy, around just because I know they're coming through at times here and there. That, and for the Extra Life fundraiser every year, I do try to keep some around just because I know one of you will pick it if I reach my goal and we have to do the potion of nastiness. Now, I am not filling this glass up the rest of the way, although I am going to try and eyeball this into equal portions. That might be about right. This is where those 4 previous drinks become really handy. Because I gotta psych myself up for this, and having this this rapidly increasing buzz on is really helping with that. That is a unique smell. The oily coffee aroma of Allen's coffee brandy mixed with the sweet watermelon aroma of the Captain Morgan watermelon smash, and just this booziness that's coming up out of it as well. Pardon. It's one of the dangers of drinking the others as quickly as I did. You gotta deal with those gas bubbles that come up through. Pardon. Of course, part of that could just be my stomach rebelling at what it's about to partake. The liver's fine. The liver doesn't care. It'll process the booze the same way. And it's just getting past the taste buds and past the stomach. And it has got this interesting hue to it. I don't know if you can really see it on the camera, especially with the backlighting the way it is. I am filming this during the day, which is never a good thing with this setup because it kind of tends to backwash me and put me into shadow. And yes, I know that's not great filming technique, and I apologize for that, but I'm hoping to make some improvements to where I film at some point in the near future here, so we won't have those problems. And I'm just jabbering away as a stalling tactic. But as I was saying, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it mostly looks like the Allen's coffee brandy. It's got that nice muddy brown color to it, but there is a pink tinge coming through that just makes this look like something a pink elephant shat out when it was having a bad bout of diarrhea, I guess. And I put my nose further in that and it gets worse. And like that bitter coffee just kind of eases its way in there, and then that sickly sweet watermelon. And it has taken on a sickly sweet smell because of the sweetness of the coffee brandy and the sweetness of the watermelon smash just kind of melding together, and trying to throw up a warning sign saying, "Don't fucking do this, you idiot." But hey, it's for you guys. Cheers. Oh, that's awful. And neither one of these burns on their own, but somehow in combination with each other, they've got this nasty burn. And it rushes to your head immediately. I mean, granted, this is straight booze. They're not, neither one of them is very, very heavy on their own. This is only 50 proof, and the Allen's is 60 proof. So, you know, 25% and 30%. But granted, it's stronger than any of these other combos, especially where it's such a smaller concentration. Well, I guess that doesn't have much. Well, no, yeah, it does, because I thinned them out more with these. Anyway, it's got a bad burn to it. And like up front, it's not that bad. It's just liquid. It's mostly this coffee, this smooth, thick, coffee flavored liquid, but then as soon as the burn hits you and then the sweetness and the fruitiness kicks in, it's just this unnatural combination that should not exist. I don't know, go get yourself a friggin' coffee culotta and a fruit culotta at Dunkin' Donuts, dump them together and see what you think of that. And it's pretty much the same thing, but adding an alcohol burn to it. Don't inhale before you drink it, and don't exhale as you're drinking it or as you're swallowing it, because those two flavors just roll around each other and they compete for dominance on your tongue, and it's just this vomit-inducing combination of flavors. This is wholly unnatural. Satan wouldn't make you drink this. As the cough syrup from hell. Diamond tap that ass or something, I don't know. Oh. Alright, there's a couple drops left in there just for you guys. I'm going to finish this. The bigger the sip, the worse. The smaller the sip, the worse. So just take it a little bit at a time and shut the fuck up when you're done drinking it, because as I talk, more and more of those fumes are just... More and more of the fumes are just manifesting themselves, and... Yeah, there's no words, but... That was awful. So, no secret here. This is definitely a far distant last ranked preference for a mixer with the Watermelon Smash. The Moxie is a distant fourth to the Sprite, which is pretty decent. Then we go to the Pink Lemonade, which was not bad at all, but I think the Brisk Iced Tea takes the winning position in this one. So there you have it, folks. 3 decent suggestions that I would definitely recommend. 2 to stay the hell away from. And quick little palate cleanser here. The Watermelon Smash is not too bad on its own. Well, I think I'm going to take some time off, see how this settles, find out if that much booze that quickly kicks my ass in a little while, or if I can keep drinking tonight. We'll see. But until next time, thanks for tuning in. Thanks ever so much for your viewer suggestions. Cheers.